Oh, this thing just makes the trail come alive like you would not believe.
My name's GuyKesTV. For the past 20 odd years, I've been a professional mountain bike tester. And today, I'm in Dalby Forest in Yorkshire, lucky enough to be testing the brand new, totally reimagined Santa Cruz Tallboy CC. I've been riding Tallboys since they first came out, but there's a whole lot of new going on with this most recent generation Tallboy. Not just the fact it goes up in travel again, so it's now 120mm at the rear, 130mm fork as standard, but also it gets the lower linkage driven shock setup that they've moved across from the V10 originally and is now on all the Santa Cruz suspension bikes apart from the Blur. And you can feel that difference as the suspension straight away. The old Blur was pretty kicky right from the start unless you smoothed it off with bigger tyres, whereas this has a really fluid open start stroke, but then very quickly sets into this really stable, corner hungry mid-platform. And then from that mid-stroke pedal and push support, it gets nice and progressive. So while the old Tallboy, it would properly spank if you really overstepped it, this has a really controlled bottom out to it, almost coil-like in feel. Certainly not super plush and wallowy, very much on point, so you can really maximise the handling gains and stiffness gains on this bike. Because Santa Cruz have done some radical things with the numbers on this. For a brand that always used to be quite conservative with their geometry, they've gone full out with this Tallboy for the sake of a few mil and half a degree. It's basically the same shape as the Mega Tower and the High Tower. 65.5 degree head angle, 470mm reach on the large, 490 on this XL I've got today. That's proper radical. 76 degree seat tube, and then you've got a little high-low chip to stiffen it all up slightly. Prefer a slightly tighter feel, but the fact that everything about the bike is dropped right down into the belly. I mean, when you see it from the side, it looks like those videos from Pig Bike where they shot them at full compression. This thing is slammed, and as you can see, all that weight down low, that stiffness, that slack and long front, just makes this a bike that wants to attack every metre of trail, especially under power. And while the sensitivity over the small stuff is much better than the old Tallboy, it's still totally got that stand up and attack urgency and power delivery that will have you going up through the block on technical climbs, not just sitting back and besieging them. And the pike up front is a perfect match for the rear end. You got that big negative air chamber now, so start the travel again, really supple, high traction, and then loads of carving support and throwing it wide on corners, dropping your heels and just playing with the edges of the tyres and edges of the trail, properly on attack. This is not a bike that's going to save your life, but it's just going to use that poison precision to give you the ride of your life. And the other thing that Santa Cruz have done on this Tallboy is change the tube profile. Bit of slide there from the back. So the down tube and top tube are a lot flatter rather than square. So it gives the whole bike a real kind of spring and life and vitality beyond what the shock's doing. And then I've got the reserve carbon wheels on this as well for another bit of life and spring with just enough damping when you're running it ragged on the traction there. But this is a bike that's just daring you to keep off the brake, throw it around. Oh yes, Tallboy. Punch, 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 punch. Oh. Oh. Oh yes. Just tucks, turns, cuts so well. And the kit package they put on it really works too. 2.3-inch tyres, a bit lighter, a bit faster rolling, a bit more feedback. Everything that suits, oh boy, the character. Oh, I love this trail at the best of times, but this is insane. 800mm Santa Cruz bar, and even this 50mm stem is doing okay. But so much reach to play with, you could definitely go shorter on that 65.5 head. And as well as working on the tube profiles and extending the reach, they dropped the whole bike lower. So even on this XL, I've got an inch under the collar of a 175mm reverb. So, and I've got pretty stumpy legs for a nearly 6-footer. So if you want an extra long reach, then you've no problem sizing up. And that also means the link, the top link still sits neatly in that top tube, and the whole package is so tight and so driven. Never even thought about flicking it in trail because it pedals so well open. But if you did want to kind of make the start stroke match the mid stroke, that option's certainly there. And it's loaded with all the usual Santa Cruz practical longevity features too. You've got a lifetime warranty on the frame, lifetime warranty on the VPP bearings, you've got a lifetime warranty on these reserve wheels. If you go for that option, they are such a good match for this bike. These 27s high tire come with 30s, 2.4 tyres, so it's just that little bit lighter, tighter feel, and it's so on character. It's got fully internal cable routing, which is pre-plumbed, so you've got pipes for the cables to slide through, so no stress for servicing. Bearings are fully serviceable, grease guarded, so you can just keep lubing them before you need to pull them apart. Taking the new cable routing for the front end off the high tower, so the cables thread right into the face of the head tube now, so there's no damage to paint, no rub or overlap. And it comes in a full range of sizes now as well. There's an XL, XXL and an extra small version, which is a brand new addition to the lineup, so everybody gets a Tallboy to fit. And the Juliana women's version is the Joplin, and right through that range there's room for a bottle cage on the down tube, as well as another one under the belly. So if long rides are your thing, then you're not going to get thirsty without using the Camelbak. But and all that bearing longevity, that smooth shock start, are really going to suit longer rides as well. More stable handling will look after you when your skills have gone south at the end of an epic. But for me, it just wants to turn every part of the trail into an interval session. Oh, you monster. And don't think, just because it's a relatively short travel, this Tallboy doesn't like a lap of the park. Because that little float shot might be working hard, but the control it's getting deep in that stroke, and the way that precision means you can rip a berm, it is just absolutely up for some sprint and rip action. And that extra frame length definitely does not come at the expense of precision and stiffness. And because the pike is working at 130mm, so shot down pretty short, but that's got bags of stiffness and precision on tap too. With a shorter wheelbase and front centre than the high tower, it's just that little bit more agile as well. You've also got a chip in the tail of the chainstays that takes the short 430mm tail out to 440. If you're a big lad or you want some extra stability, you get a 29 by 2.6 in there as well. And the high shock position also gives a more linear rate, so it doesn't feel quite as abrupt coming onto the mid-stroke. I mean, all this extra capability, the new shock linkage, the bigger frames, all comes at a cost. At 3.1 kilos, the frame is 400 grams heavier than the old Tallboy. And at 12.8 kilos, complete bike is about 700 grams heavier. And that does start to tell on your legs as the hills progress. But that's just the way even race bikes are going now. But all the way through, you're just adding a little extra bit of control. You've got 4-pot brakes, you've got bigger tyres, bigger bars, bigger fork. There's none of that real kind of lift and kick that the old VPP suspension used to give. Would make it feel like you had more left in your legs than you did have. And I'm certainly not saying it doesn't pedal well. I mean, it's still got a lot more positive pedal feel than a lot of bikes. And the wins in terms of underpower traction and just stability and predictability over rough ground are fantastic. And if you want that more savage kick, that more dynamic pedaling feel and handling response, then in a lighter package, then go for the Blur Trail, their existing Tallboy. And it's pretty much the unofficial bike of our Thursday Night Fight Club crew. Oh, horrible bunch of aggressive, hard riding, technically adept, but also fit and very climb hungry individuals who don't want the bike that just anaesthetizes the trail. They want to feel every jab, every punch, every push. Woo! They want to thrive off it, come alive off it. And that is what this new Tallboy does even better than the old one, because it lets you carry more speed through more technical terrain, brake less, charge more, and then still have that poise, precision, power punch that you can blast it out of stalls like that without needing to worry about lockout or compression damping. Still pedals like a demon, and then boom, back on it, chasing hard. Santa Cruz certainly aren't the first firm to put full-on enduro geometry on a short travel suspension bike, so you can properly do whatever you want in terms of confidence, but still get all that visceral feedback and reward from riding something that keeps you totally in touch with the trail. I mean, Kartik were there, White were there already, but this is just a fantastic addition to that breed of properly progressive, short travel, maximum feel, maximum confidence speed machines. And I am absolutely loving it. And every little bit of weight that's been added to the package adds a little bit more control. You've got Guide 2 brakes now, the 4-pot calipers, rather than the twin pot levels that used to come on the Tallboy. Got a bigger bar. Comes with sturdier, tougher, better damped fork. 130mm with this Bike Select Plus. There's superb Charger damper in it. So much control up front. And it's 42mm offset now as well. Short offset, so extends the front centre while actually giving it a more agile and dynamic steering feel, because everything's closer on the steering axis now. You got a much bigger rear tyre. Tallboy used to come with a Crossmark 2, 2.2 on the back. Now it comes with a DHR. And to be honest, it's overkill. And rather it came with something like Mini SS, the semi-slick version, just to add a gear of extra speed. There's more than enough traction in this new linkage system to get away with small knobs and then having the bigger lugs on the back to just when it's in its corner over. But oh, this is just so alive, so dynamic, so driven. Woo! So good at saving those last minute oversights like that, and yet still punchy enough that if the trail starts to kick up, he don't care. Hardly ever going down a gear on this. It's just always up, out the saddle, attack, 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 attack. Yes, because you never know when there's going to be a fun section like that it's going to be so much better if you carry some speed into it. But there's just enough travel and control to keep the bike stuck down, collect the drops, let you really push the pace, but never so much that it dilutes the trail experience or takes the thrill away, or that sense of reward you get from really ripping a bike through, especially one as well shaped as this. Getting your knee down, skimming those stumps, drive, 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 sprint, 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 sprint. Oh, this is just a bike but totally lighting the trail up. And this linkage setup has actually got less anti-squat than the high tower, which means they've left some of the low speed compression on, but they've put custom rebound on, which is kind of halfway between light and medium, and that's how they get that real kind of totally planted inert coil shot feel in the second half of the stroke. And it's a much more stable and non-interacting bike than the old Tallboy, which was jumping and jiving around all over the place depending on what you did with your feet, with the brakes or just your body weight shift. So it really does create a totally different handling dynamic for this bike now. So what's the summary on the new Santa Cruz Tallboy then? It's a Santa Cruz and it's CC carbon, so this one costs an absolute fortune, but there are more affordable C carbon full bikes and a couple of alloy options as well. And in terms of lifetime warranty, wheels, bearings and frame, at least they're looking after you and your investment. And you can hear there's still some clatter going on. This is definitely not the most forgiving 120mm bike you could pick from, but if you want a super taut, really tough, efficient, mile eating trail bike that'll also let you rip trails like an absolute psycho, but still keep the thrills alive by not letting you get away with complete murder, then this is definitely Santa Cruz for you. Tallboy CC, what an absolute weapon.
Right, I'm gonna have to keep this quick because it's getting dark, but I'm gonna blame that squarely on this bike for making me ride far further than I should have done. Just want to say thanks very much to Santa Cruz for letting me have the Tallboy ahead of time so I can get it out bang on the embargo date. There's going to be a technical talk round as well, but that's going to have to be put up separately because it's going to get proper dark in a minute. Also, I need to say massive thanks to all my Patreon supporters who subscribe to me on a monthly basis and kind of basically pay for all the backroom stuff, all the admin, all the workshop time that goes into making these videos. So if you want to help sustain the channel long term, please consider subscribing on patreon.com. Massive thanks to those guys whose names will be scrolling up about now. Any more questions, anything I've missed out, please just get busy in the comments below. Thanks for your time and hope you've enjoyed it. I've been GuyKesTV, you've been watching GuyKesTV, and that is the Santa Cruz Tallboy CC X01 Reserve. Good night.